Well, good afternoon, friends. We're continuing our devotions for the past few weeks. Continue now in John J. Murray's Behind a Frowning Providence. He's writing about dark providences. He experienced many in his own life. In fact, just this past week, as a result of coronavirus, he has gone to be with the Lord. Pastor Murray suffered many great trials in his life. The death of two daughters, racked by a lack of assurance and the ensuing troubles from that. So what you're reading and what we're reading now is not just theology on a page. It's what this man lived, it's what this man believed, and it's what we ought to also believe if we're to live faithfully before God. The previous two chapters dealt with the fact of providence. There is a providence, and also that there are dark providences, hard providences that test us in our faith. Now he moves in chapter 3 to God's designs in dark providence. He has 6 designs. First, sufferings are to try us. Second, sufferings are to expose our sins. Third, sufferings are to build character. Fourth, sufferings bring us to know God better. Fifth, sufferings produce fruit in our lives and prepare us for usefulness. And sixth, sufferings lead us to make God our all and to prepare us for glory. I'm just going to read the introduction in part 1 today. God's designs in dark providences. Having seen that trials or dark providences are part of the Christian way, we must now inquire into their purpose. While it is always wrong to react in rebellion and anger against God's dealings with us, it is right to consider why they are part of our lot. There is a right and a wrong way of asking why. We must reflect on what God is doing. What is the Lord seeking to teach us through these unpleasant experiences? Here are some of the designs that God has in our sufferings. First, sufferings are to try us. The crook in the lot, says Boston, quote, is the great engine of providence for making men appear in their true colours. C.S. Lewis once referred to sufferings as blockades on the road to hell. The same sun that melts the ice also hardens the clay. Says Andrew Fuller, quote, afflictions refine some, they consume others. The test of a person's Christianity is what happens in the storm, when the house is battered in the winds of affliction. The faith of the Christian is tried and tested, wrote Simon Peter, 1 Peter 1:3-7. It is this trial that determines the authenticity of our faith. Peter reminds the Christians to whom he writes of the great hope they have, although for the present they are grieved by many trials. The reason for this is that God is sitting as a refiner of gold. He wants to bring out the pure gold of naked trust in himself. When all the dross of self-trust is purged out, then faith will be to the praise, honor, and glory of Jesus Christ. Abraham was a man of faith, and he endured the trial of faith. God commanded him to leave his comfortable life in Ur, and go out on the strength of a promise that he would give him a land and a seed. But the promise never seemed to be fulfilled. There was no sign of an heir. In the impatience of unbelief, Abraham tried to do it his way. Hagar's son Ishmael was the result, but God will have none of it. Ishmael must go. Another 11 years later, and the son of promise is born. But Isaac must be laid on an altar. Until God had Isaac, he did not have all of Abraham that there was. God speaks as if he had newly discovered the faith of Abraham. Now I know that you fear God. Genesis 22:12. Abraham had come through the test. His faith was pure gold. When through fiery trials your pathway shall lie, my grace all sufficient shall be your supply. The flame shall not hurt thee, I only design thy dross to consume and thy gold to refine.